We will start a Committee of Public Property and Public Works. A quorum is present. To my left, Councilman Greenlee. Councilman Dom. To my right is Councilman Squilla. With that, clerk, would you please read the bills?
All right, baby. Bill number 170089, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to acquire fee simple title or a lesser interest in real estate and parcels of land along the Delaware River and the Kensington and Tacony Trail under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 170106, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property and the Director of Commerce on behalf of the city to acquire an approximately 136-acre property known as the Airport Business Center located in Tinicum Township, Delaware County, together with all improvements thereon, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you. Is there anyone for the administration that wishes to speak on Bill number 170089? Please approach the bench, state your name for the record, and you may proceed with your testimony.
Sure. My name is Robert Armstrong. I'm with Philadelphia Parks and Recreation. Good morning, Chairman Henon and committee members. My name is Robert Armstrong. I'm the Preservation and Capital Projects Manager with the Department of Parks and Recreation. I appear before you here today on behalf of the department concerning Council Bill number 170089. This bill allows the City of Philadelphia to acquire right-of-way along the former Kensington and Tacony K&T Railroad and land along the Delaware River to construct the K&T Trail, Phase 2, which will be used for recreation and transportation purposes. Upon completion of the construction, the trail will be operated and maintained by Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, along with its nonprofit partner, the Delaware River City Corporation. The trail is between McGee Avenue and Princeton Street along the Delaware River. The trail connects to the K&T Trail Phase 1, which is presently in the final stages of construction, and the Tacony-Holmesburg Trail, which is in design. The trail is part of the larger regional circuit trail system and the National East Coast Greenway. Thank you. I would be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for your testimony. Could you? I have one quick question here. Do you know the status of the negotiations in regard to the Morrissey track and the Al's Auto Parts? And if they haven't been acquired, why is the condemnation process started 10 years ago as opposed to just over the last couple of years?
I mean, I would prefer to have the law department here to answer that question. I do believe that the Morrissey is the deal is almost closed, according to what law department told me last week. We did need to get this legislation through in order to have the final, piece of the puzzle together to get that property. And I believe the Al's Auto has been acquired. But again, I'm not the law department.
But somebody would also have the acquisition price.
Yes, there has been appraisals that have been done for the law department. I don't have them with me today, but I'd be happy to provide status to you and your staff once I talk to the law department. The status of the trail itself?
Of the trail, just in general.
Well, the K&T 1 we're going to do the ribbon cutting in May. We're almost finished. The bridge over the Wingahocking outfall is complete, and all we have to do is landscape and signage. And then this is K&T 2, and we did receive $1 million in Transportation Alternatives Program, TAP, FHWA funding for this project. So we are doing this legislation and then working with the law department to finalize all the property acquisitions. And I'd be happy to provide that to you once I talk to the law department.
That'd be great.
Sure.
And I think that there's been a tremendous amount of progress moving forward with the trails. And there's two trails. There's the Northern Delaware River Trail and there's the Southern Delaware River Trail.
Well, there's the southern piece is really being worked on by Delaware River Waterfront Corporation. Mm-hmm. It's not really PPR's projects.
So it's a leading question. So what I'm going to ask you is, with this acquisition and the ribbon cutting, does that put the Northern Delaware River Trail ahead of the Delaware River Trail, my competitive colleague next to me on the waterfront trail?
I don't know what the status of DRWC's projects are.
Okay, plead the fifth. Great. Well, thank you for your testimony. Sure. Is there anyone here on the committee wish to ask any questions? Councilman Dom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your testimony. Just a quick question. I'm trying to understand, is this Is this costing the city any money?
Well, there is, I believe, some earmark money in this. There's also federal highways money in it.
So let me just ask you a question. Who are we acquiring this from?
Private individuals.
And what are we paying for that?
Well, there's been several appraisals for several different parcels. So again, the same information that I provide to Councilman Henon, I could provide to you as well. I don't have those numbers exactly with me because our law department counsel is not here, so.
And who determines if it's a fair value?
Well, there's appraisals that are done for fair market value that the law department engages with an appraisal company, and they do the appraisals.
I'd like to see that information just so I can
Sure.
understand it.
Yeah, no problem.
And for the record, upon receiving those appraisals, I will make sure that the committee receive that quickly and
Sure,
on time.
sure.
Thank you.
We'll try to get them to you today.
Any other members wish to ask any questions? Anyone else here today that wishes to testify on bill number 170089? Okay, with that, thank you for your testimony. With that, before we get into our next bill, this committee will...
Do you want to move this bill first?
Okay. So, with that, we're going to go into our public meeting, and the chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill number 170089 be reported out as committee with favorable recommendation and a rule suspension to allow for first reading our next session of council.
Second.
Second.
It's been second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Bill number 170089 will be reported out of committee with the rule suspension as to be heard at our next council session. We will now go back into the Committee of Public Property and Public Works public hearing. All right, so we're now in the hearing, and we are going to take a short recess in our hearing for the Committee of Public Property and Public Works. We will be resuming shortly. Thank you for your time. will resume the Committee of Public Property and Public Works. Clerk, would you please read, I want to recognize that a quorum, again, is present to my right, Councilwoman Kim, Councilman Squilla, Councilman O to my left, Councilman Greenlee, and Councilman Dom. Clerk, would you please read the bill, title number 170106.
Bill number 170106, an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property and the Director of Commerce on behalf of the city to acquire an approximately 136-acre property known as the Airport Business Center, located in Tinicum Township, Delaware County, together with all improvements thereon, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you, Clerk. Is there anyone from the administration or the airport here to testify on bill number 170106?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
State your name for the record, please, and begin with your testimony.
Joseph Messina. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. My name is Joseph Messina, and I am a Deputy Director of Aviation for Regulatory Affairs for Philadelphia International Airport. I am pleased to appear before you today to testify in support of Bill number 170106. This bill will authorize the City of Philadelphia, through its Department of Commerce, Division of Aviation, and the Department of Public Property, to acquire a property in Tinicum Township, Delaware County, which is needed for airport use. The property is owned by the David C. Henderson Testament Trust and other Henderson entities. The property, also known as the Airport Business Center, is located on next to Tinicum Island Road and is adjacent to airport facilities. The property includes approximately 136 acres of land and 130,000 square feet of office and warehouse space. This acquisition will be made by negotiation or condemnation. The purchase price is to be determined by an appraisal conducted by the airport, or in the event of condemnation, by a Board of View award of just compensation. The purchase will be funded through the Aviation Fund and will not impact the general fund. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today in support of Bill number 170106, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any members of the committee wish to ask any questions? May I ask somebody, a representative for the Henderson group or team that are here present, will you please come forward? If you could stay there.
Sure.
Joe, I appreciate it. Thank you. If you could state your name for the record.
My name is Michael Sklaroff. I'm here as attorney for ownership.
Okay, thank you, and I appreciate you guys being here. So in its simplistic and easiest layman terms of this legislation getting out of committee today, if the members choose so, and ultimately passing council if other members choose so in addition, what does this bill do, and how does this authorization help moving forward with the process of negotiations?
Is that directed at me?
Well, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Sklaroff on behalf of...
Pursuant to the Home Rule Charter, any city operating agency requires the approval of City Council to acquire real property. The airport desires to acquire this property either through amicable negotiation, or in the event that amicable negotiation fails, then through the condemnation proceeding. Since the property is located in Delaware County, there will be an additional step. We will be required to ask the consent of Tinicum Township and Delaware County.
Okay, that's fine. So, but from the city's perspective, all right, this is a simple authorization to enter an agreement and continue negotiations and agreement. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Councilman.
Okay, may I hear from Mr. Sklaroff, the owner's rep?
Well, I will say that we are pleased that the bill is going forward. We hope it will continue a process of negotiation, and we hope that it will help us reach common ground.
Great. Is there anyone else here that wishes to testify on Bill number 170106? Well, thank you for your time, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
We will now go into our public meeting. The chair recognizes Councilman Greenlee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bill number 170106 be reported out as committee with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Bill number 170106 will be reported out of the Committee of Public Works and Public Property with a favorable recommendation. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.